playing with power, you gotta give it all your best. When you're training for tomorrow, there's no time to rest. And so high in the sky, you will
Welcome to Nintendo Voice, your voice for everything Nintendo. This is episode 2, being recorded on 17th of May, 2015. My name's Lewis Pugh, and joining me to talk Nintendo, we have Harrison Milfeld.
Hello, everybody.
And Colin Crompton.
Good evening.
I'm doing this while sick, so I could have just introduced myself in the show, be like, you said my name, I'd be like, I'm glad to be here.
Alright then, for today's show, we have two main features. We have Nintendo and Universal, as well as Nintendo's E3 plans. We then have listener questions, and you have sent us many questions. And then we end things up with the bonus rounds. And you have also given us lots of cool answers for the question we asked last time, which was, what is the best Nintendo weapon, and why? And obviously we will also give you another bonus round question for next time round. However, before we do jump into our first feature, first thing I want to say is a huge thank you to everyone who's listening now. Our first episode was a big success so far. I would like to keep things very open with this new show, and so far we're just over 4,500 downloads within the first week or so for the first episode without any subscribers beforehand. And I am very proud of that, so thank you absolutely everyone for not only downloading it yourselves, but sharing it on the internet and so on. I think this is a great start.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, we got viewers now. No, it's not, well,
We have
not only
viewers.
that,
They can see us.
yeah,
Well, technically we do. We're up on YouTube, so they can watch the very static image as we talk, but in the background. But yeah, again, another thing before we jump into our first segment. There's actually a very sneaky, very short segment I'm going to put in here, which isn't even on the show notes. So both Colin and Harrison are unaware. Exactly, what is this? What's coming up? Let's call it a sneaky shout out, shall we? And the reason being, through a Twitter conversation on the official @Nintendo Voice account, I was speaking to Gamer P17, and we came to a
disagreement?
No, well, there was a disagreement, but then we came around to an agreement as such. And I'd like to turn this into some sort of a feature, which is basically, if you give the show a review, we'll shout out something for you.
We'll shout out like, oh, even if it's a negative review?
Well, I mean, if it's negative, there may be less chance that we'll get around to do this shout out for you.
Oh, that'll be the most
But
fun.
I don't officially want to say, because I feel, again, we may get into some legal territories, which we started the show off with last time. Gamer P gave us a very nice review on iTunes, which helps us out a lot. And he would like us to bring up a disturbance that he's been having recently.
A disturbance in the force of Nintendo?
The Nintendo Force. No, not that.
Not the actual Nintendo Force, yeah.
More legal disputes. No, the reason being was he very kindly sent in a question to the show last time, and he felt he was unjustly picked in favour of another question, which obviously was picked out by yourself, Harrison.
Yeah.
So he thought personally his question was more thought-provoking than the one about the sweets. What's your favourite snack during a Nintendo Direct? Now I'm staying out of this because I didn't choose. I just kind of delivered the questions from the listeners.
You delivered the question
onwards.
and you tagged me, and you tagged my Twitter account to him. Now he knows where I am. He's probably got through my bank records right now, just thinking like, you can't believe you just chose this.
So yeah, I feel I've completed my duty. I've let Gamer P17's grievance known to the world. So if you would like to do the same, you can give us a review on iTunes, give us a screen capture, and you also have to let us know what country you're from because we need to select that to see the thing. If you do that and let us know what message you would like us to shout out at the beginning of a show, send it through, and it's a win-win. And now, on to the first feature. Nintendo Cross Universal, aka Nintendo Land 2 announced. As our listeners are probably very much aware, they know what this
time with
charade
longer
is.
lines.
Yeah, so this was actually during last week. at the same time as when Nintendo did their fiscal report, they announced a partnership with Universal Studios. And at some point in the future, they will be creating. Actually, I'll use the direct quote from them. They will be using spectacular, dedicated experiences based on Nintendo's wildly popular games, characters, and worlds. Which is basically mean there will be Nintendo attractions at Universal parks in the future. We don't know really any details beyond that. We can speculate whether this is something which is going to stay in Japan or it will be worldwide, what sort of attractions there'll be.
It sounds distinctly Japanese, but...
It does, but with those two... both this was world-known characters, and especially something like a company like Nintendo, I'm sure it'll be both areas, like here in the States and in Japan.
And it could just be that they're on different scales, in terms of they might have a much a bigger, say, Nintendo Land area at the park in Japan, whereas in America they may just introduce a attraction alongside another theme, as it were. Or they may, again, go big in Japan first, see how it goes, and then go big in America, and then see how that goes. And
we always go big here, trust me.
Or you know,
overly, like more than we need.
with console launches of recent years, actually, and it could just be that they go for America first.
Oh, that's true.
You never know. Yeah. I don't believe that Universal have. Do they have any European parks?
I don't believe so.
It's not too late.
They have the redheaded stepchild of a theme park known as Disney or Walt Disney France or Paris, where nobody goes to.
Disneyland Paris, yeah.
Not World. So we could have a Nintendo Land comparing it against Disneyland, maybe. And but watch it be in some place where it's just going to be incredibly expensive for me to travel to. Like what's that? Oh, it's in Australia. There we go. I'm like, why? You put it in the one place that basically hates video games. Well, I'd say not hates video games, but is very against when it comes to, for censoring games. So, but yeah. Cool.
They'll just buy an island like John Hammond in Jurassic Park. Here you go. We genetically created these Nintendo characters to life.
Genetically created Yoshi, and he's running around. That's just gonna be weird.
So how is creating a new island somehow more easier to access than what was the example? Was it Australia? Sorry, yeah.
He hasn't thought this through.
So what are our gut reactions here? Is there anything bad about this?
I don't think inherently bad. I think it's just it's interesting, but it's nothing I'm ever going to see.
So I don't think anyone has said much bad about this. So maybe for a moment before we get too giddy, we could play devil advocates here, and what could potentially be bad about this partnership?
Overpriced.
True.
just
maybe like just really super young age focused, like
that's
5-year-old sort of thing.
Yeah,
is like the only target
it's not just that. I think what they probably do is something is, say for instance, they just take an existing ride and they just not building something new. They just throw a new coat of paint on it and just stick like Mario.
They theme Zelda. It, yeah.
Yeah, because I think they did that for. Correct me if I'm wrong, because for a while I think it was like before Marvel was bought by Disney, and Marvel had rides at a Universal Studio Park in Orlando.
And they still do.
I'm trying to think. Like, didn't they still have that, or did they?
It's one of those kind of funny legal issues where they do still have the full rights, and there's nothing Disney can do about it.
Yeah, no, I was thinking like because I thought in the back of my head like, wait, because the Wizarding World of Harry Potter's there, and I thought they just like, oh, we have this big franchise, let's just put that over that.
Yeah.
So. But I mean, no, I could probably just see these being like, it's a theme ride. That's it. They just put the coat of paint on there, or they generally do put this, or it's ridiculously geared towards little kids. I mean, I'm not saying like,
it's possible to be honest. I mean, with the very colourful, bright characters, it might be Universal looks at this and go, these characters could be great for the little kids, and we've already got lots of stuff for the adults and such, and this could essentially be the new young kid area.
Yeah. I mean, think about that. If they're designing like rides for adults and things, as soon as I heard this, I was like, it'd be really cool if there's like a Legend of Zelda virtual simulator that you go in. That'd be really nice. Cause
What are you
yeah.
imagining for this virtual simulator?
Well, it's like your Link, but it's like first person on the back of your pony running through Hyrule Field.
Yeah, but I mean, what are you like riding something, or is
No,
it
no, no. Trying to explain. You go into.
Are you trying to suggest that Nintendo get into Oculus Rift technology? That's the name of the ride.
Kind of. But,
yeah, that's a Freudian slip.
yeah.
When the lift's announced next E3.
Yeah, but so you go into it's like a cinema room, but it moves. You live in a
Is it
virtual
like one of
simulator.
those quotes 4D cinemas? Is it one of those? And
Yeah,
so like,
you
the
know,
seats will
it's-
rumble when like they'll chuck water
Yeah.
at you. For, it's like when you go for a puddle.
Basically, that's why.
Sounds like you're trying to turn this into that one room in Star Trek Generations. What's that called? The
holodeck.
the holodeck. Yeah. And-
I'll take it.
I bet you. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it pops to my head. Like, that'd be quite interesting.
All right, I think we're moving now into the good territory. So, I think what I would love to see, and I'm not sure it's like no do because it's not really using the power of the brand, but just a balls out F-Zero roller coaster. Just something which goes ridiculously fast, and it's just F-Zero themed.
Kills you, man.
And you're in like blue Falcon carts, you know, that'd just be great.
That would be great. Actually.
it wouldn't be idea. It's just you gotta coaster designs these days or whatever have been just getting better and better. But again, the theme park industry itself is just when it comes to chains, like you have Six Flags and such whatever, that went through a big downsizing, and I think mine that's in my area, like in St. Louis, was one of the few that survived. And even I think that company did go through Chapter 11 at one point, but it's beside the point. Universal teaming with this is a good idea. It's how it's implemented right now. I mean, it's just like part of me thinks like, yeah, we're getting our own like Nintendo Land. The first idea is like, yeah, we're gonna get an F-Zero ride. It just sounds speed, and racing, or maybe it's just. But thing is, watch them just only. They're not gonna go through Nintendo's treasure trove of different characters. I feel like they're just gonna go like, okay, what are the two more popular three characters we got? We got Donkey Kong, Mario, and Zelda. That's it.
I
Maybe
reckon
Kirby.
they would go even further and go, we've got the Mario section and the Pokemon section.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's it. It's just I feel like it's going to be just that. Just
Yeah.
hey, here's Mario and Pokemon, and maybe Kirby. Who knows?
I don't think Kirby gets his own if that's like the trifecta. Unfortunately, as much as I like Kirby.
Yeah,
I guess
Not big enough.
Donkey Kong maybe. Donkey Kong something.
No, I said trifecta. It's obviously Zelda. Come on,
well,
work with me here.
Well, here's the thing that they could probably do for Donkey Kong, and it's essentially again another thing that's geared.
Minecart. You could do a minecart ride.
Well,
Yeah.
you do mine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with minecart ideas. I mean, the idea of a log flume is okay. I mean,
Yeah.
even that's boring a concept when I was a kid, but I was like, oh wow, a log flume.
But if you give it a jump button, there we go. Now it's
You
getting
could
interesting.
jump the cart
How
whenever
would you
you.
physically make it jump? It's like, okay, here's the thing. It's like, okay, I imagine just the people in the ride going by. It's like, all right, son, basically you just need to tighten yourself in, and you need to use this button to jump right at the perfect time. What?
Jump over huge
The great
gaps.
thing is, when they have those cameras, which automatically take a picture at the
Oh,
right
yeah.
moment, they don't have them angled at the 45 degrees. They have them far out to make this like 2D image. So it looks like
you're thinking way too much into this.
it looks like a Donkey Kong Country screenshot, and you realise like the coaster you're in looks pixelated.
No,
See,
it should be
that's-
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
There we go.
it's never gonna happen.
Well, let's just hope it doesn't go that same route. Like, okay, the famous ride Splash Mountain in Disneyland. There's this like an older website where it's just called Flash Mountain, and it's just rejected photos of women just flashing to the camera, and just no, because when they do that, they find you get in trouble for it, obviously, but
Yeah.
they don't give you the photo. But these people actually collect the photos, and I'm thinking like, oh god. Hopefully that's not the case with that, because I don't want to be going through like the Donkey Kong ride has been shut down because there's been so many people flashing the camera.
Oh, dear. See, I don't want to go on too much about our different ideas for particular rides, 'cause it's something we might cover a little bit later. What I thought could be interesting is potentially using something like the 3DS as some sort of guide, and only because it's something they've done in the past.
Yeah, the Louvre in France.
Yeah, and I've got a feeling that they've also done that somewhere else, but the name's escaping me. And this sort of seems like an idea that maybe Miyamoto would have.
I
That
believe the Seattle Mariners has something similar to that. The baseball team, where
possibly, yeah.
they have something with people in the stands with the something to deal with the 3DS. I think it may be just to ordering food, or they have like an official app like on the 3DS store or something like that, just that's only working. But yeah, I could
imagine that they could do something like that as well. It might just be some sort of clever interactive map, and it also gives you facts about the different rides and so on, and maybe you play these little mini games.
Well, you could like tap where you want to go, and it had like little arrows that guide you.
Yeah,
like a waypoint type thing.
Yeah, just something like that. I reckon it's in the realms of possibility that they'll try and tie it in with like, oh, go to Mario Land and bring your 3DS, and maybe it works into some. Maybe they'll just give you some Street Pass things as well. I don't know. And then this got me thinking of something a bit, maybe a bit dark, maybe a bit menacing and malicious. Would they go as far to have exclusive amiibos at these locations?
It's like Nintendo already shut down a major game retailer. You don't want them to shut down a theme park.
Well, but surely that's almost like the desired thing. Like, would this really drive people to go to a very expensive theme park purely to purchase an amiibo?
No, not for me. But I mean,
I'm sure it has that selling power. But
well, I guess with the other stuff which will be there, like the Nintendo rides and such.
Yeah,
I'm sure
it'll give them
the
the extra push they need to like maybe take another trip. Or maybe
Nintendo doesn't need a theme park to work with Universal. They just put like, we're going to put amiibos in the Universal store.
We've placed an amiibo stand.
That's all you need.
No. Like, I can see what you're saying. Like, it's what they kind of do with the Nintendo World store. It's like there's exclusive items there, and there's exclusive there at these parks, but they're thankfully restocked.
Yes.
But no, that just it got me an idea for a ride that involves that. It's essentially, it's a rail shooting game. Whenever it's called, Amiibo Hunter, you're shooting down all the scalpers that are shutting down the site. So basically, that's it. That's your game. That's your ride.
Yeah,
Amiibo Hunter.
You get a prize.
Yeah. What do you get? Oh, you get the most common amiibo out there. Here's Mario. There you go. Congratulations.
Enjoy.
So wait, I want a Marth. No, sorry, Marth's gone. Can't do that. It's been completely sold out. They actually, I'm going off topic on here, whatever. But I forgot I forgot the name of this group on YouTube, but it was called the Nintendo Shopping Network, and it just focused on amiibos. And they're like, oh, we have an Ike amiibo here, whatever. It's like, oh, we're being told that's already been sold ordered. These have been sold out. And some guy calls in, and he just says, "What are you doing? Like, do you think?" It was like this angry guy calls, like, "What are you doing?" It's like, what? It's like, You profit off like the madness and all this, whatever, people doing this, even though when you think about it, like he was arguing like these characters are more common. It's like, no, they're not common. That's the reason why they sell out so bad. It's like, and he starts to get visibly upset, and the guy in the show is like, so you're telling me you don't want to buy any of these right now? He's like, they're still available. It's like, put me down for all of them. He's like, really? He's like, don't question it, just give me all of them. But again, I digress.
The power of amiibo.
Yeah, I think the final thing I'll add to this at least is, do you reckon there's any possibility that they'll theme this around the same theme of Nintendo Land? Like maybe they had just had it in their minds, like, that would be a cool idea if we were to do something. We would want to have this kind of particular style.
Yeah, I don't know. The design, the art direction of Nintendo Land was just wacky.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure they could get away with doing that. I don't think so. I think this crossover is going to be quite basic. I can't see it being
quite traditional.
Yeah, basically. It's going to basically, they have a few extra rides, and that's it. Yeah. Look like they're mad over it. In my opinion, I think it's just going to be a basic.
Okay.
Straight deal.
How about you, Harrison? Will this be Nintendo Land in the flesh?
I can see the design of it basically being out there, but as far as in size and scope, no, because like I said earlier, I could just see Universal just going, like I said, try and do 3 series, Mario, Pokemon, and
the third one.
Yeah, third one's like,
it's either Kirby or Zelda. They have to battle it out.
Yeah, Kirby, Zelda, and Donkey Kong Battle that went out, so go ahead.
Yeah.
It's like, what about Fire Emblem? What do you mean about Fire Emblem? Nobody cares about the critically acclaimed series that Amiibos sell out in
I want my
seconds.
Advance Wars Park.
Oh, Advance Wars Park, that way. Ooh. That no, it's played in something kind of like Ender's Game or something like that, where you have to build everything out. It's like, yes, this is actually a game, and yes, your friends have just died.
Yeah. To be completely honest, I wouldn't be too surprised if at least the first thing is just Pokemon. And they have like some Pokemon stuff, and they have the Pokemon Center, which has just been in Japan so far, and limited access.
Pokemon Safari. There we go.
Yeah,
I was
and
gonna
it's
say,
like
like
a
a
bunch of
Pokemon-
different Pokemon things, and they'll introduce other Nintendo stuff afterwards. Like they'll announce it like the Pokemon Company. It's like, I don't know, it's just such a huge brand. Let's jump on to our next feature. Nintendo announces their E3 plans. I crossed out Punch Out You on the
Yeah, I
show
was
notes.
wondering that because there was a tweet. Yeah, wasn't there a tweet yesterday, the day before, and I assumed it looked like Bill Trennan on there in a pink jumpsuit, like that Little Mac wears, and we're probably getting like they're announcing a Punch Out this early.
Well, yeah, that's what it seemed to be, and I think that turned out to be Reggie, right?
It did.
Yeah. But yeah, so it had him in the pink jumpsuit. But yeah, what it turned out to be is Nintendo has announced they're bringing back the Nintendo World Championships after 25 years.
Only for people.
Time.
Only for people here in America, though.
That's true. Yeah. And
So the
The
only
World
Nintendo,
Championships.
so yes,
point, yeah.
so I'm just saying, if anybody wants to recognize, me, I am going to be training for this. So
Come on, man.
So have you got your 2 GameCubes at hand? Will you be using them to lift weights, as it were? Build up some muscle?
What are you talking about? I'm doing like I have like 2 NESs, whatever, based on like a balance bar, whatever. I'm using that to do squats.
I was thought you were gonna one up me again. What are you talking about? I've got 2 Personic Qs here.
Sonic cues. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was gonna say something with the Virtual Boy, which, oh, by the way, made an appearance in that video.
did.
And it was almost just tongue in cheek. Where Reggie's sitting there training, and he's like, "Wow, these games are awesome." I was like,
Yeah. Are they?
Sure.
"Sure."
I've
keep
still
telling
not
yourself-
played one yet.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that, Reggie. When's Mother 3 coming out? We're gonna keep saying that because you just said that.
That's what he was playing. He's just not announced it yet. It's going to be exclusive to the Virtual Boy.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
No. We said before. The codes for Mother 3 are hidden in the NES amiibos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just got to find the right device to push it against. And the announcement will go out worldwide.
Could you imagine the outrage if people did? I mean, yeah, you could get it on a ROM, but it's like to have an actual licensed Nintendo one that is hidden on an amiibo, you're just like, nope, sorry.
It'd be like, it's say like it was like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with the whole golden ticket. And it's like only 5 amiibos in the world will have.
Yeah, I wish
this
I wish
code.
I had that. I wish I had that rich family who actually had her slave, like sweatshop workers going through chocolate bars trying to find that. 'Cause I thought that was the most
tearing
morbid.
through amiibos.
Yeah, I thought that was the most morbid thing ever in that movie. I'm just like, wow, you're not only a brat, but you are just like, I hope you're paying these people good instead of chocolate. Oh god, and we're getting off topic right now. But the video announcement at E3.
Yeah. Well, we've not even got that far yet. So yeah, they announced the return of the Nintendo World Championships. They also announced the return of the digital event, which would be the second time it happens. Our first digital event being like last year's E3. So before we jump on too far, were we expecting to have anything different this time around?
I was kind of, I don't know, it was up in the air. I mean, Nintendo got quite a good reception from that digital event that they did, the way it was structured, and how you could probably see like why they went to something more like this as opposed to just a big kind of like style event, which I personally, yeah, I would like to see them return to. I mean, if they're unveiling a new console, you have to go back with that. I think that's kind of a given.
Right.
But no. This is I expected that. I just didn't. I was kind of going through my head thinking like, okay, we'll have the event. We'll probably have treehouse events, whatever. But I was thinking like, what could they do for like because that one slot that had Super Smash Brothers Invitational, and I was like, what could they do on there? And I was thinking, a big, what if was like, hey, we're with all this Mario Kart 8 DLC, we're just like, hey, here's a Mario Kart tournament or something like that. But that was one I felt like, okay, they could probably do. But this one, I'm like, wow, it keens back to a good portion of nostalgia and a lost portion of Nintendo's history to a cartridge, which has been known to be one of the more expensive things out there.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting because they've not really announced what games will be played.
There have been plenty of companies asking for them to put on there, and I found it kind of hilarious. What was it like? Here's one thing they found in comments, like, yeah, can you guys play our games in there? Whatever. It's like, how about you put games on our console? How about that?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a very good point indeed. So yeah, in addition to World Championships and the digital event, the Treehouse Live event is also returning. It sounds fairly similar to how it was run last year, but apparently there will be more live streams, more games, and more developer appearances. So it sounds like if you liked what they did last time, you'll probably like this
Again, more of it,
even more. Yeah.
Did you all notice what time this was going to be? Like the digital event, it was Square Enix's press event was going on at the same time.
Yes.
And there was a small contingent of people saying like, no, Nintendo, you got to move this whatever because everybody was banking on Kingdom Hearts 3 being announced at this event, which I think it already been confirmed it's not going to be. And all these were asking Nintendo to move their event because of Square. No.
I'm pretty sure Square was saying good Nintendo moved their event too.
Yeah,
so
and then
get more viewership.
And
exactly.
I
and
believe.
Square moved.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Square did move. Square did move their event. I think it was like an hour or so after that.
Yeah.
And no. What else? Oh yeah, they announced the thing with Best Buy, which was for Mario Maker, which I will be shocked at if there's long lines like last time when I went to the Smash thing last year because I waited in line for 4 hours just to play Smash Brothers.
That's dedication, man.
I don't think Mario Maker is going to have the same draw to play for a short burst. I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, how long will you be able to actually play this thing for? I mean, if it's just going to be like, say, 5 minutes.
You're given a minute to create a level.
Exactly. What are you going to do in Mario? It's like having 5 minutes on The Sims. It's like...
It is, yeah.
You're not really...
you know what? Well, if you have something like 5 minutes on SimCity, my first reaction is like, build, and I'm just going to go click, destroy.
Yeah, but would you even be able to build anything that impressive in the first 5 minutes? I mean...
I have my ways. I have my ways to do that. just as much as I can... No, I can create a city and destroy it in the amount same and just as quickly. So
we are talking about the SNES version, right?
Yes, that one.
Sure.
That one that actually had, I think, what was it? Instead of Godzilla, I think they superimposed Bowser onto it.
That's right.
Just one of the disaster portions on there. And I mean, just don't be like one of my friends who in the later SimCity games where he would build cities based on like major cities and recreate real life disasters. And I just told him like, this is what you do. It's like, yeah, I get bored and I just recreate disasters. So I'm like, okay, wow, you are a sick human being. But I mean,
that is wow.
But again, where were we talking about Nintendo's E3 plans?
We were, but I wanted to also interject that I'd love to see a SimCity on the Wii U. It would be a great setup for it.
Well, what happened to Maxis right now? Isn't Maxis all gone, or is that just
it is?
Or is that just one studio?
Well, I believe Maxis, as it's known, is gone.
I mean, I knew the reports about that. It's just, I just figured it was like one portion of studio, and after everybody's like, "Wow, Maxis is gone," but no, it's like, no, they're still out there.
I'm not sure if they moved staff across or such, but yeah, that studio is as such is gone.
Yeah,
which is a shame because it wasn't that far after. Well, it was a fair bit after.
Yeah,
not super.
Word of advice, if you're a developer with EA, just get out now or don't be bought. I fear for BioWare right now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But
even though I would be shocked if that happened. But no, one thing I wanted to ask about the digital event was, okay, when Zelda was delayed into 2016, and Nintendo had mentioned that it was not going to be shown in any form at E3, which I call BS.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
I'm sorry. It's just you have to show at least an update on it. I just feel like they're just pulling everybody's chain. But they
I think I'm the only one who actually believes Nintendo for once.
No.
It has
For once.
No. Here's the reason why I say that is because business flyers have been leaked, whatever, just for an event I think that was going on during the digital event or before, for media members, like for showing private showings for games that are coming out in 2015 and 2016.
Yeah.
But then again, Zelda's detailed, like during their physical ports, it just said to be determined.
Yeah, they didn't even put 2016 on the thing, which it was 2015 before, so it would have been as accurate, or not accurate, as specific, I should say.
I would say, but no, digital event is good for that. I mean, probably just essentially a good 50 to 60 minutes of highlight reels to figuring out what's going on with for this year. And
I don't think the last one was actually that long, was it? I think for almost 40 minutes on the dot.
Yeah, it was
no.
Which is odd because we've had longer directs.
The last one was 48.
Fair enough.
It was 48.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe that one was 48 minutes. And usually most E3 press conferences run about like an hour and 15, hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no. I mean, what did everybody think of the video though, in general, of the introducing the event? Because I loved last year's. I loved last year's with the FISA mech.
Oh yeah. I preferred FISA mech.
Oh no, the guys at Mega 64 who did that video last year, helped produce it. They actually did it again this year because I was thinking because I felt like, oh, that was funny, but I didn't realize Mega 64 still did it. I was like, oh, okay, at least that's good.
Yeah, it had its moments, but it also had some bits where it was just a bit too cheesy. Or a bit cringy.
The Reggie workout. I mean,
some parts of the Reggie workout were quite good, but just other things. I can't remember which bits it were. I think possibly just him in the boardroom.
Yeah, that was. I don't know.
It was a bit.
Oh no! How basically that video created a meme essentially, where it's like
Reggie is thinking.
Reggie's thinking, and as he's thinking, like this old B-roll footage from the 1990 Nintendo World Championship, and he just lets out this. I was like, what was that? It's like something I heard out of Ghostbusters or something. Like, I'm like, good lord.
So do you think there's any kind of like secrets related to the World Championships? Do we reckon there will be a game announced which will be in that vein? Like maybe going back to say Punch Out, or maybe something like from the Wizard, like Mario Bros. 3-esque, like Mario Galaxy 3, as a big announcement there, or.
Okay. Here's the thing that annoyed me right now about that. Everybody was assuming this is like, oh, this is just kind of like the Wizard. Like, no. Video Armageddon and the Nintendo World Championships were two different things. But if they wanted to announce something, this would be the case. Because here's the thing, and I'm playing conspiracy theorist on this one right now. Last year's video when they announced their E3 plans, the majority of their music in there was all Zelda. What was the game that they announced in that E3? Zelda. This one. It was Mario Galaxy music. What was the? And
was it really?
I'm just it was all Mario. It was a bunch of Mario Galaxy music, aside from the theme song when Reggie was doing the montage, which of course was just incredibly cheesy.
Yeah.
But I did like the Virtual Boy bit. That part made me laugh. So.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sure it exists, but I've not yet seen a video which has Reggie's montage with Team America's montage music behind it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
sure that's already out there. I'll search for that after the show.
Talking about a montage. No, okay, and one thing I wanted to add on here, because I got a little very weirded out at the beginning, how Bill Trennan essentially ruined his own joke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
confusing time zones, which is fair enough.
Well, yeah, for somebody who lives out there, it's like, you kind of didn't know that, but I mean, just some background everybody doesn't know or didn't realize was Bill Trennan was a trending topic on Twitter for about maybe 2 hours or so. And it was because he apparently announced he was like leaving Nintendo, and he completely forgot to say that whatever after the video announcement, because clearly there's a Yeah, because clearly there's a portion of the video where Reggie tells Bill, he's like, "You're fired."
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that end, to be honest. I thought that was funny.
Really? A little kid. Although these
Well,
Japanese
like the
very-
payoff, at least. Like, just telling Bill that he's fine. I like that moment.
As it
Oh,
just-
no, those moments are good. It's kind of like last year, like with the Fizamech bit, or whatever, when the real Reggie confronts him, and there's that Metroid music playing, like a portion on there. Which, by the way, back to my conspiracy theory, there was no new Metroid game, so yes, that's death. But anyway, how the fake Reggie just says like, "I'm a new peripheral from Mr. Miyamoto," and Reggie just is like, "I don't care, I'm going home." I just like that was the best.
Yeah.
It's like you couldn't have worded that better.
That's really cool. I mean, we'll talk on a future show about our predictions around E3. But with not talking about predictions, is there anything else you'd like to discuss before we move on about Nintendo's E3 plans?
Me?
Or anyone?
I mean, aside from training for the World Championships and getting a spot at E3 because I want to. But no. I'm surprised. It's just very odd. Like, yes, this is the World Championships, but it's only being played here in North America.
Well, it's called the Nintendo American Championships or something.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I bizarre.
Well, no. Like off the top of our heads, what game do you think will probably be mentioned? Like used, like like not from back then, but like say current now. Not
Yeah,
the
like Nintendo Land or something like that, surely.
Nah.
No.
I reckon it could be retro stuff, actually.
Do you think? You think it would be like
Or maybe like
the
Like-
NES remix type thing?
maybe it's like a game from a generation.
Ooh, yeah.
Like they have an NES game, they have a Super Nintendo game, they have an
Because
N64
the
game.
original World Championships card was like 3. It was Zelda, it was Tetris, it was Rad Racer, and the original Super Mario Bros. I believe. And it was just like you play like 30 seconds of each, or you got to get so many coins, or you got to do one lap of the course. So I'm thinking, yeah, it is like the NES remix type scenario.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
So surely they'll just do that, but a World Championship edition.
Are you thinking they'll do that, but for all Wii U games, or where are you going with that?
I just think.
Like, would it be like they will play like a track on?
Do you know what it could be like Mario? Yeah, track
Yeah.
on Mario Kart and
They'll do watch them do 200cc Mario Kart. That'd probably be one.
yeah,
easily.
everyone. But then they'll do like Super Mario Bros.
If they do that, I bet they use Pikmin 3 in one of them.
Do you think?
If it's their Wii U games,
Yeah.
like multiple of them, I bet they choose Pikmin 3 just to throw people off.
I mean,
That-
probably,
that's-
yeah.
a tricky game
No.
to-
Here's a game they play. It's like they end up playing Mother 3 for like 5 minutes. Like, this is so great, and they just take the controller. Like, that's it for you.
Yeah, it's fully localized, and it's just like part of the game.
Or Star Fox 2 for the Super Nintendo, which
Ah,
of course, yeah,
cool.
it's like that game's like you can find like an almost completed ROM of that, whatever. I mean, it was like 98% done version of
That
that.
would be interesting. Could Star Fox appear in the
And
World
be part of it.
Championship?
Do you think?
Yeah, as like it's
Which-
kind of unveiling, but they also have to play it at the same time and compete. I suppose.
Ooh,
This is becoming the wizard,
it is becoming the Wizard.
which is worrying.
No. Like, again, I hope there's a news. I hope there's a
I was gonna
sound
say, I
bite.
hope
I
it's
hope
a new
there's a
Wizard.
sound. No. I hope there's a sound bite. If somebody's editing whatever, that Jenny Lewis, that girl that's on there, is like a new game. You didn't say anything about a new game. Whereas everybody's like a new game. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that film.
awesome.
Hashtag yeah. And then it's like, is it Metroid? No, it's not Metroid. we took Metroid out like Old Yeller and just like shot it. I'm sorry, that series is not coming back.
We're very sad.
No, it hashtag Metroid is dead.
See what happens there. Oh.
Okay. After that incredibly sad news, it's as good as time as any.
Hypothetical bad news. I'm just. I don't believe it. I'm just.
It may be hypothetical, but my tears aren't.
That's just
Oh, Lord.
it may be hypothetical, but my tears are not.
Anyway, I'm taking control again. We are now moving over to listener questions. And we actually have received more questions than we're going to have time to go through. And so we're announcing new rules and limits to the listener question section. Which is basically that we'll...
Wait, there's rules? You didn't say anything about rules, Lewis.
Yeah, apparently you need to in competition, so I'm going to dish out some rules now.
Terms and conditions.
So yeah, questions will appear as a first come, first served basis. And I don't think there's going to be a hard cap, but there's going to be around 4 questions per episode if we get that many. And if we receive more than that, they will go into the bank of questions for next time, and so they will be first on the list, as it were. However, we'll move now on to our questions. Our first is from Ultima Gamer. I have a question for the next podcast. Probably didn't need to read that bit. What is your opinion on the Nintendo theme park? Well, this one we've covered, and so that's why I've stuck it at the very top of the list here. And so hopefully you're satisfied with our ramblings from earlier. But in very, very short summary, I think it's good news. I hope it's something which doesn't just stay in Japan. And I hope it's kind of a method to get the Pokemon Center as well out of Japan. I'd like to actually go to a Pokemon Center. I think that'd be fun. Anyway.
Well, is like the requirement for all the people who work there, they have to look like Nurse Joy?
Nurse Joy, yeah.
That's interesting. I don't think they do that. That's a missed opportunity, isn't it?
Is it? Is it?
Well, it's the Pokemon Center. You know, at least have someone.
No, I'm gonna picture the Pokemon Center whenever some kid who's got a broken 3DS is gonna go in there and be like, "Hey, fix this."
Yeah.
I was like, I got some battling to do.
Oh, if they had... Not that, I was going to say it wouldn't be great if they had restore points. You could just hand over your 3DS to your Pokemon. It'd be bloody pointless, though, wouldn't it?
They just put it in a little container for like 2 seconds, a little light splash, and that's it.
But you can do that yourself. Oh well. Maybe, anyway, Colin, what do you think about Nintendo theme parks?
I think we've pretty much covered this. I mean, it's...
Come on, quick and snappy, come
on. Yeah,
it's okay. Is it bad?
It's alright.
It's alright, fantastic. Harrison?
Kind of like the same thing how I said about how, NFC figures and, certain other business ventures that Nintendo's, finally got into. My only thing is, it's a good idea, but why didn't you do this sooner? I mean, it just seems like this has been incubating in their list of ideas that we should totally do, but we're not going to. It's like, oh no, it's kind of like that one thing they pull out, whatever, as far as a good idea, and in Splatoon right now is one of those better ideas that's like out of their IP bag, like their future IP bag, but they keep it closely guarded, like, nope, you're not getting near it. And sadly, Paper Mario or something like Splatoon or Pikmin are those rare once in a console generation things, like, well, maybe once every console generation and a half, it's like, hey, pick this out. And I feel like Nintendo theme park idea was in that bag where it's like, maybe we should actually do that right now.
Excellent. Okay, we're going to move on to the next question from Inklin Austin. What is one game that has made you absolutely angry and rage quit?
Oh.
If no one has an immediate example, I do.
I mean, I have plenty from, like, non-Nintendo consoles that I could say, but I want to hear what you guys are. Just
Yeah, sure. Well, I've got a very recent example. When I say very recent, it was actually from yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So I think it's quite relevant. Me and a friend were playing some Wii U local games, and we actually played a game we don't often play, which is Hyrule Warriors. And it's probably an odd game to mention in this, but we made our way to the end of... Is it Hero Mode or Legend Mode?
Yeah, Legend Mode.
It's the one which is in Adventure Mode, which is what I always think
the
it's
main
called.
story is Legend Mode.
Legend Mode. Well, I believe it's the end. It's kind of the last set of... You do the Ganon stages, and then you end up back to being Link. And so we're basically killing actual Ganon opposed to Ganondorf now.
Yeah, that is yeah.
And it just seems that our characters are way underleveled, which seems to be like the first time this has happened in this game.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to battle Ganon, and there's this like a particular move which kind of just instant kills us, and it just seems really unfair. And sometimes there's quite a big period of time between your last checkpoint and then. and you just keep doing that bit again and again. And it's very rare that we've ever done this, but it's like, all right, we're gonna have to call it a day here. We're not going to get through this. We're going to have to come back another day and sort this one out. Maybe we have to do some leveling up, or maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe we need to rethink our tactics. But
it's probably just like you need better equipment, really.
it might, yeah, it's probably just something like that, because it seemed like we had the strategy down. We could get through his different like modes fairly easily. And one of the annoying things, probably the most annoying, was one of these instant kills would happen like as soon as a cutscene finished.
Oh yes, yes.
So I think like Zelda gives you like the golden arrows, and as soon as that cutscene ended, like you see Ganon do this like finishing his special attack, and we're like, game over. It's like, what? Didn't even have time to react. So yeah, that's my very recent rage quit moment from a Nintendo game.
Yeah. See, I think my worst case, my very, very worst case, and I've never had a thing like this for a Nintendo game anyway. It was F-Zero GX on the GameCube, because that was the story mode of that game was brutal.
I remember that being like so low. It's that's a game that's as fun as it is to play. It is just difficult to master, and those story mode segments were just rough.
Yeah,
stupid but rough.
I was on the second to last. I think it's the second to last stage, and they're rather smart. They give you a course that doesn't have any barriers, so you just slide all over the place, and every time it's the first corner, fly off, try again, fly off, try again. So I was just like, oh. Of course, you're on a timer. You got to get through this course in a certain amount of time, so you can't slow down. You can, but you don't want to. Those were dark days. Those were dark days.
Those were dark days. Yeah, dark days indeed. When we actually remembered, like, oh yes, F-Zero did exist.
Yeah, well, those were the glory days.
Yeah, that was the one that I thought was. See, this is the thing with me, like people who think like, I mean, okay, a game should not. Okay, a game is meant to be difficult. It should be, but it's a matter of like you're not punishing the player so much. That's the reason why I found out, like, with, like, Donkey Kong Country Returns or Tropical Freeze, where I had a friend of mine who just blatantly quit. It's like, no, it's too hard. It's like, well, how many lives do you have? It's like, I can't make these jumps. Like, well, the game is giving you extra lives. It's just, like, you die in a certain portion, and you get, like, a one-up balloon. You're able to get that to kind of, make that failure seem okay. It just, and yet you have games like Bloodborne or even Dark Souls that its difficulty is praised, and I find that really odd. And then this is not to say that like those games are bad. I mean, they're just not. I mean, personally, just not for me in any sense right now. I mean, I know they have an audience, and I respect them for that. It's just I find that very odd how those games' difficulty is praised. Yet anytime that's any other game, whatever, it's like where it's difficult, but it's not so punishing. It just gets like, nope, it's just too hard. And
that's right. Yeah.
But if I had to say my game though that made me rage quit, aside from various matches with Counter-Strike or Team Fortress 2 or Halo or Call of Duty or any online shooter that I could possibly conceivably think of, if I'm going to have to say one, this is a tough one. It's gonna have to be. I mean, it's better for me to say rage quitting, where I just basically, this is more me just like, I'm done with this for a long while, and that would have to have been probably Advance Wars 2, one of the only one games in the series I've not beat, because I got near the end with Black Hole Rising, and I just said, I'm done.
I know what you mean, actually. At like first glance, it seems like the opposite game for a rage quit game, because it's like, it's a slow turn-based game. It's very methodical. It's not, when you think of rage quit, you think of something like very twitchy and quick reflexes. But yes, later on into the game in Advance Wars, I can absolutely see rage quit moments when you've realised you've sunk so much time into it.
No, and
there's no way to correct, what you've done.
No, here's the thing though with that. It's like with a game of that magnitude, it's like you said, when you have like an online multiplayer shooter, which is quick respawns, whatever. I mean, it's just like ADD, quick like that. This one, it's a special kind, because once you do that moment and then it's your enemy's turn, you get to see in several moments where you're just like, no, not this person, not this. No, yeah. That's the thing that I always do in Fire Emblem games. It's just like you get that moment where you like for me, like it was permadeath. I would just restart the game, like restart the map. And
Yeah.
even if I changed one little thing or one strategy, it's just so agonizing when you just like, oh, you have one player that you don't want to die, but no, they focus on that
Oh, yeah,
one
that's
person.
right, yeah.
That's the thing that, but in the case of Advance Wars 2, it doesn't matter with that one point. Even if you corrected the mistake and drew everything out, it's not just one thing that they go after. They systematically realize, okay, we're smart. We can be smarter than this person, and they just wipe you out. That is the worst, more agonizing thing. Instead of just one kill, dead, and I'm done with this game. This is just it taunts you. It taunts you for about 7 or 8 moves on to that one player's turn, and at that point, you just have to set your Game Boy down, be it if it's the original or the clamshell design one, and you're just like, screw you, game. I'm done. No, I'm done with you. I'm done with your games, and I'm done with your torture. So,
very much like Another Advance was.
Yeah, and never had the courage to go back and play it again. I haven't. I don't know why.
Okay, we'll move on now to our next question. Gamer P16. Could Nintendo stand to learn from past mistakes and implement voice acting into more of their IPs?
It depends on what you mean by past mistakes. I mean, because the voice acting in Nintendo games has either been quite good or pretty bad.
Name some quite good examples.
We'll
start there.
Well, I mean, I don't like
your words, Harry. Sorry, Colin.
Thing is, it's made by Rare, but I mean, it's stuff like Conker and things like that. I would class.
I thought you were going to say
good
Perfect
voice
Dark
acting.
for a moment. I was going to leave my headset and come after.
But I don't know. Actually, F-Zero.
F-Zero.
Wait, really?
No way. That's not voice acting. It's text.
No, F-Zero GX has voice acting, doesn't it?
They do in the story mode, and that one's cheesy as hell.
Or does it actually? Or is it just the vocals of the the rock music in that game?
I would say
okay. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not great, but Star Fox 64 had pretty good voice acting.
I don't know. We're going back to Star Fox 64.
You asked me for an example. I'm giving it to you. Star Fox 64.
Oh no. Back then when Star Fox 64 released, to see voice acting in a Nintendo game was just great to do it. Even though you just wanted to murder Slippy at every turn you could.
Yeah, he wasn't great, but.
So have they done better voice acting than in Star Fox 64?
Have they done better?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
I want an example. What voice acting has Nintendo done which is better than Star Fox 64?
See, originally it was one of my bad examples, but I'm starting to think Star Fox Adventures actually had quite good voice acting.
That's rare. They don't count anymore.
Well, okay, it's the fact that that's Rare employees. It's like kind of me. If I had to choose one, I'd say Eternal Darkness. But then again, that's Silicon Knights, who they had all this great voice talent to come in.
I think the conclusion is it's slim.
Because if we're going to talk about other I'm just my basis on here. My terms, okay, people just try to say that this is the worst Metroid game in the entire series out there, which I find incredible hyperbole.
Well, the Metroid games are incredibly of a high standard, though, so it's possible.
No, they are of a high standard, but I just think to say that this one was worse than, say, Metroid 2. Metroid 2 wasn't terrible, it's just a black sheet. It's like that sidestep to the series, which is for what its limitations of the handheld, a Game Boy had to do. Whereas the other I'm just going to say it out, it's right there. Yeah, the story, Sakamoto's script was terrible. That's what I can say. It's relevant. It mirrors that of a really crappy sci-fi anime.
Yeah, I agree. The story is bad, but I would say it's quite well voice acted.
No, I will give you that. I will give you that. No.
Okay.
I think Jessica Martin, who voiced as Samus on the series, who I follow her on Twitter, or whatever, and very nice one. Very nice person. Even if you messaged her or talked to her about Metroid, very nice. This one, the voice fit. It's in terms of how the script purred it on there. I mean, people will go on and say, oh, this just ruined Samus or whatever. And my thing is, this is not the be-all thing to find Samus. I mean, there's ways to get around, even though it's part of canon. But my argument with, the encounter with Ridley in that series was that hey, why did she react this way really when she's encountered this so many times? And what was it? I think ScrewAttack.com or Nintendo Life or somebody had a good article and there was like, they said like, have you ever heard of post-traumatic stress syndrome? And the thing is like, there was moments where it made her more of a three-dimensional character. Could have been done better? Yes, it could have. Like there was those things like, oh, I like it how she's just not stoned face killer, kind of like this. Like I want to do something more of that. But in terms of trying to add more to voice acting in Nintendo games, I'm just gonna say, the next Zelda has to have it. Doesn't mean Link has to have it. It has to have some portion of the voice acting. It's been what is this? It's been 1, 2. Beginning of Twilight Princess, we thought we were gonna get it. No.
Yes.
Skyward Sword. No. This one, just there's no excuse. There really is no excuse. I mean, I don't mind reading text. It's 2015. Gonna be 2016 when it's released. You need to evolve with that series. Like, just don't give Link a voice. You can find creative ways to go around that.
Yeah, and I don't think it's so much a matter of not wanting to read text, but when they when they do these kind of in-game cutscenes which have the text when the characters speak, and then as you go through the text, like the characters will carry on their interactions, whatever they are at the time.
Yeah. They will repeat an animation.
Yeah,
You press
or
the A button.
I think they did this in Skyward Sword where you have two characters, say, walking across a path, and obviously they'll be endlessly walking until you click through the right amount of text, and then they'll do something else. But that just seems so kind of clunky with this text-based thing. Whereas if you just let me watch it and have the characters voiced, it probably be a lot less work for the programmers for the scripting sake. Or having all this endlessly running scenes for you having the text wherever it is. Also, it would just be nicer to watch. And for some of the longer scenes, it's just going to be a lot nicer to hear it as well.
Yeah, it'd be nice to because it'll fill out their personalities a bit more too.
And then they can also take some of the advantages of the things you can only do with voice acting, whereas you could have characters, telling you dialogue as you play the game. It's quite a simple thing, but I think that could really.
Well, they did that with, Ocarina of Time, almost.
Well,
the fairy.
Well, yeah, yes, I know. But in the case of Skyward Sword, they actually upped their cinematics for it. I mean, it's just all that was missing was in-game voicing dialogue that wasn't just grunts or screams or laughs or maniacal laughs, whatever you can think of. It's just that's all that was missing.
Yeah. So in terms of more IPs, I mean. Well, I've not really chipped in. I think from what they've done so far, I think their best example of voice acting, and it probably won't be one everyone agrees on, is Kid Icarus Uprising.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because that had a lot of voice in it.
The voice was good. The script wasn't.
Well, I think, at least it knew what it wanted to be. It was like a kid's Saturday morning cartoon, and that's what it was, as it were. It was very consistent. It was very, kiddie jokes and voices, and some of the jokes I thought were quite good. Obviously, some fell very flat. But I thought it knew what it wanted to do, and it was quite good at doing that in particular.
One option I did want to see that was good this day is Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yes, and that's a series I think that they can go a lot further with as well.
Yeah, because you had good voice acting in those. What was it, like those 7 or 10 or so animated cutscenes in the game, even though they lasted maybe about 2 minutes each, probably. Yeah. But still, it worked that way. They were able to, that's maybe that if the Zelda series were on a bigger, obviously it's going to be with Zelda, it's a bigger scale. Take note from that. You could probably still maybe with certain texts have that, but save the voice acting for the more cinematic portions. But then again, that's. I don't know. That's just kind of cutting it, but still low. But it's still voice acting.
Yeah, no, I think that would be an acceptable way to go around it because of just the massive amounts of text, as it were. So yeah, if you just speak to your regular villager, you're just paging through the text for the 5 screens or whatever it is. But with something story happens, everyone's voiced.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously they're key characters enough to appear in such a scene. And so, all those characters are fully voiced, fully animated, motion, whatever is needed to get that scene done. Another example I wanted to bring up which is possibly how Zelda could do it, is say in Metroid Prime 3, where there was a fair bit of voice acting.
There was.
None by
wasn't...
Samus though.
Yeah, it's the Skyrim route. Yeah, your main character never speaks. But I don't see that's the perfect solution to Zelda. But they never seem to want to do it.
So in terms of other, like beyond Zelda, what other franchises could they bring voice acting in? Because I don't think Mario's a good fit.
No, we did that once for Sunshine, and that was that's pretty. But they did it pretty decently. I guess with Galaxy. I mean, they had text bubbles, but it was still kind of looked good cinematically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Trying to think.
I think interestingly, they obviously had a chance to do this with a new IP such as Splatoon, but that kind of uses like an Animal Crossing-esque voice.
Oh, where it's basically it's they tune down the voice like into like squeak. Like,
yeah, it's like
it's like garbled noises. Yeah,
it's sped up.
Yes, but yeah, in a cartoony way. But I mean, you can tell it's somehow related to what they're saying. So yeah, that's kind of like Animal Crossing, and I don't think Animal Crossing will change that, because that was actually a very nifty feature in the fact that you could generate text, as it were, and thus it could then say it in its weird way. So maybe something like the Pokemon series. That seems like something where it's always got an animated show. They're all voiced there.
Aside from the Pokemon.
Well, exactly, yeah. So the trainers could speak to each other again, maybe just in cutscenes or something. But it seems like where they're very sensitive with Zelda, they wouldn't be so much with Pokemon because it's already done it. It's already had like over a dozen movies where everyone speaks.
Yeah. Too many. But yeah, Pokemon will work. I mean, I'm struggling to think of any others that would fit that mold of having voice acting in. I mean, you can't. It wouldn't work in say like Donkey Kong, or anything like that. It'd be really weird if Donkey Kong's like just speaking perfect English.
Yeah. I've got a good ironic example actually. Kirby had a TV show. He didn't speak in it.
Yeah, because he was a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
he's a child.
So yeah, I don't think there's any chance Kirby will be getting his own voice because he managed to avoid that having a TV show.
That was actually a pretty decent cartoon show.
It had its moments.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it's pretty decent.
Warp Star.
Oh, girl. You watched it? I don't know. Okay.
I watched it because
I watched it on my Wii. Does that count?
Well, yeah.
Does that redeem it anymore? It had
sure.
some sort of Kirby channel at one point. And I think I saw an episode or two on my 3DS as well. On the Nintendo video app.
You guys have too much time on your hands.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Watch Kirby.
Kirby's the one.
Or not only that, they had an F-Zero TV show for a little while.
Was that localized?
Yeah, it was localized here in the States, and I think probably Europe. But it came out around time when it was done by like Funimation and everything. The same people who helped put together and 4Kids, same people who put the Kirby show.
And I think there was two Game Boy Advance games based off it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Maximum Velocity. I think it was called.
Not that one.
GP Legend.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and Captain Falcon essentially played like the Racer X essentially like of that series. Like he was very, you would rarely see him.
That's interesting. I think we've covered this one quite well actually. Let's move on to our last of our 4 questions here, and this one's from Sean. What is your favourite Zelda game, and why? It seems quite simple on the face of it, but actually that's quite a big question. Well, actually, I think I've answered this officially. And
I have.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm hoping I'm not misremembering what I said here. Oh, I might be. You go for yours, Colin. It's in between two for me.
Well, mine's always been the same, and I've enjoyed it the first time I played it, and I still enjoy it today, and it's Majora's Mask. The original Entity Fall.
Why is that then?
Well, it's just because it differs from the traditional Zelda norm of collecting 3 things, something big happens, then you get told to collect more things, then the next bit of the story happens. It's just the way this game starts, it's darker. It has hidden themes in it, and it's obviously it's based around the 3D structure and all this. And yeah, I just like it because it's like it's the one that doesn't it's different from the rest of the games. It's the one that they actually tried to do something different with the series, and some people like it, some people really dislike it. But I'm in the like it camp. I think it's great.
Saying that, have you picked up the remake on the 3DS?
I played a friend's copy. I played it on he has a new 3DS and so I thought, okay, I'll try it out. And to be honest, the second stick I don't think really added anything to it.
Aside from changing the camera.
Yeah, I mean that's what it did, and I was just like, I still think the N64 was controller-wise was the perfect.
It does run a lot better though on the 3DS remake.
Yeah. you don't need to.
Which is probably the main thing, just that it's nice and smooth.
It doesn't require
because the game itself's already great, so it's just that a lot smoother and a few little tweaks here and there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll probably really love it if you. And I guess at some point you might find it for a good price.
Yeah, I mean I'll pick it up in it.
Exactly.
At some point, but
cool.
Yeah.
So Harrison, do you have the same answer here?
According
to an article I'm looking at, you do.
Wait, an article. Wait, what article exactly?
in quotes, choosing what your favourite Zelda title is a difficult task in and of itself. It's essentially asking you which of your future children you would want to keep.
Are you reading my Are you reading my Pure Nintendo article about Wind Waker?
No, this is a Nintendo article about Majora's. Well, about your favourite Zelda games, and apparently.
Oh yeah, that was right. No, it is Majora's. Did I say Majora's? Yeah, I did say Majora's Mask in that one. But I think I said as far as titles that I really liked, I think it was like A Link to a Past was probably. If I had to do 2D, it's A Link to a Past, and if I had to do 3D, it's Majora's Mask.
Cool. And having reconfirmed with a written article, I now know what my favourite Zelda game is.
You had to look at that for what it was.
You had to look
too.
Wow.
I didn't know if I picked Majora's Mask, which I didn't, or Link's Awakening for the Game Boy, which I did.
See, I was going to choose Wind Waker, but then again, I wanted to choose that one first 3D Zelda that I fell truly in love. I loved Ocarina of Time. It's just Majora's Mask made me love that series more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reasoning for me picking Link's Awakening is most likely due to large amounts of nostalgia. It was my first Zelda game, and it took me a while, one, to like it, two, to actually get anywhere in it, including finding the first dungeon, and definitely a lot longer than that to actually complete the thing. But by the time I did, I had kind of fell in love with the series, even though I had only played this one game. I loved absolutely everything about it. And the fact that it all happened on this portable console really kind of blew my mind as a kid. It had really great music. I mean, the game kept me going for absolutely ages. It had really tricky puzzles because it was all new to me. Even like the combat and so on was challenging and fun. And yeah, it was just like this really big world to explore and lots of interesting characters and just absolutely everything about it. I really loved, and I played it again when it came out on the Virtual Console for the 3DS, and I think it actually ages really well. I think because it's quite quirky, it doesn't necessarily feel like a lot of the other Zelda games. I mean, in some ways,
It's a Zelda title that actually shows that it can work on a handheld. That's the first thing that we got.
Exactly, yeah. But it's also got this nice kind of charming and ironically colourful nature to it. It never really gets kind of dark and gritty, and it's never foreboding. You go to the town, and it's all nice and pretty, and it's just a nice world to be in, even as you are like trying to complete this quest, which is even quite ambiguous to start with what you're actually trying to do beyond just escape this island, because you're trying to awaken the dream fish. But yeah, Link's Awakening is my favourite Zelda game so far.
And it's nothing wrong.
I'm not sure it will ever be topped. But yeah.
it's nothing wrong. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, that completes our 4 listener questions. And there's more than that which have been banked for next episode and beyond. But in terms of assigning a prize to our favourite star question, this time I'm going to give the honours to Colin.
Oh, thankfully. So now I won't be harassed.
Just going to spread the damage. Done. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, just for the sheer fact that it maybe revisits some pretty dark times, I'm gonna go with Inkling Austin, which is the one again made you rage and quit. Just because it made me think, yeah, I did quit over that game.
How dare you choose that question?
And you also found out I've been playing Hyrule Warriors yesterday, so you got that little factoid out of it.
It's always good.
I want to add. I do want to add though, like the person who was making. I want to not making fun of it. It was not too happy that I chose the next question. I'm saying your question was good. I'm not making it. I just. It's just a choice.
I think we need a rebuttal here. I mean, surely you're not saying like the snacks question's not also good? That was also a good question, right?
I'm just saying it's for. I gave it points for originality.
Exactly. It was a good question. I don't think we should like run away from our stance here now.
I know. If you asked me, no, it's like if you asked me, like, hey, what Nintendo fictional game character would you go on a date with? I would think that's absurd, but since I was forced in a corner to answer it, yes, I would have to answer it.
And now I'll be disappointed if that question doesn't come in.
Oh yeah, it's gonna come in. No, it's gonna come in basically thinking like, who would you rather do this? Yeah, I'm like, oh god.
Okay, so Inkling Austin, the Twister Fusion beta and goodie bag will be on its way to you. And if you would also like to join in and send in your questions, you can do so either via email at hello@nintendovoice.com, or you can tweet us at Nintendo Voice, all as one word. And you will be added to the list of questions, which will be read out on a future show. And if we pick yours as our favourite question for that episode, you will also win some goodies. And now we'll move on to our bonus round, where more goodies can be won. And we'll start off with the question we asked last time round. So this was way back on episode 1, if you can remember such a time. We asked, what is the best weapon in a Nintendo game? And yeah, you have sent us your answers. Ultimate Gamer has said the best Nintendo weapon would be the Smash Brawl from Super Smash Bros. We've got Nintendev64. Has to be the cape from Super Mario World. Finally, Mario became Super Mario.
I get it.
There you go.
We have Malik. I would have to say the original Zapper. That is where Nintendo started and why they became so amazing. And we also have
nothing else. It's just a Zapper that did it.
Yeah, and
That's
Game
fantastic.
of P17, Smash Ball because of its universal utility and the ability to change the outcome of the current battle to the user. And to switch it round, Harrison, it's your duty now to pick our favourite answer to our question.
I want to give to Nintendev64. I want to because of the end where he just said finally Mario became Super Mario. Where I just thought to myself,
Yeah.
oh, that actually makes sense. But then again, it's like he was always Super Mario either way in previous games.
So you're not giving it to him then?
No,
That's
no,
a tease. That means he was really excited for a moment. You said his name out.
No. But the Smash Ball I would give out whatever, but that's fairly too soon right now.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, it came out in 2008 with that first iteration we saw. But yeah, I'm giving this more. This is a more real world person, but yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to the Zapper just because that not only that spawned just good light gun games, but also it became one of Captain N's main weapons. Yes, I don't care how bad that cartoon was. I'm giving it to it.
That's terrible.
You know, if there are any kind of artists listening, there will be some sort of picture of Harrison being drawn, eating snacks from a giant bowl while wielding his Zapper at the TV. If only there will be a question about the Power Glove.
I weigh 140 pounds, by the way. Don't draw me in such a weird caricature.
Okay, so Malik is our favourite answer. So thank you very much for your original Zapper answer. Again, Twisted Fusion goodies will be on their way to you. And to finish up, we now give you a new question. And the question this time is, what Nintendo attraction would you like to see at Universal? And so this is something we've covered somewhat at the beginning of the show. So don't use any examples we gave. Think of something original. The more creative, the better. And just remember, it's going to be something which takes our interest.
We
out
also,
of the other answers we're going to be picking here, so that's your competition.
We also need you to give us architectural designs of these rides. What are the safety regulations? Height requirements? Go with that. No, but yeah, obviously I'm joking, but no, seriously, if somebody sends me like an architectural design or screenshot to us, you not only win just other goodie bag, I will personally buy you a game. Like, just for the I will do
guarantee. Is it a game of their choice or just a game you have at hand?
I'm just gonna here's $20 to the eShop. Have fun.
Wow, we've got an actual figure. Excellent. And that brings us to the end of yet another episode of Nintendo Voice. We've covered the contact details already, but once more, you can send in your general emails and comments and questions to us, either on Twitter at Nintendo Voice or on email hello@nintendovoice.com. If you like the show, you can also give us a review on iTunes. It helps us out greatly. And if you do, as we mentioned at the start of the show, let us know, and you can also get a sneaky shout-out. And that does take us to the very end of the show. Thank you once again for listening. This has been Nintendo Voice.
Later, everybody.
All right, see you later.
When you're playing with power, you gotta give it all your best. When you're training for tomorrow, there's no time to rest. And so high in the sky you will fly, don't you cry, you gotta hit it with some zest. You're a virtual tiger on the back of a big lion.